welcome to episode 97 of Awakening. And I'm quickly checking because I changed the title of the episode and didn't change the number like an idiot. So, alright. Not the right number. Perfect. Where are we? We have been MIA for 3 weeks, so let's do a quick recap. Who's interested in recapping?
I can do additions to the recap, but I don't remember exactly what happened. I looked at my notes and they were kind of like vaguely written.
Me, teacher, me,
Oh,
please.
sure.
Mr. Elvenman, do a recap.
Let us do a recap. So, the beginning of last session, we three adventurers moved from the soot-covered town where the Arcane lived, in the very south, and we kind of just didn't want to deal with any of that. Didn't really want to talk to the Arcane and all those weird people, so we kind of just left and moved to westwards, the mining town, which I also do not remember the name of. Had some nice chats there with the people there, mostly Oliver talking with like the head of the town, gaining some information about I think the half-orc paladin of Revenge who later died from the dragon. We learned that he came through here, I think.
That is true.
And we learned, very importantly, there's spiders in the tall weeds all around that biome. So we're not going into the spider territory. Instead, we decided to go into the hilly terrain full of griffins and other elemental maybe things. But apparently there haven't been spotted sort of earth elementals, at least thus far. But we decided we'll go through that and we'll use our expansive array of magic that we have so much use for and that are so just easy for us with our high-level wizard companion. So we went full out stone skins, flying, invis, and we flew through. And we made it through like most of a day, and then just got struck by lightning as all our magic got taken away. And we were like, oh no, we're in the middle of nowhere with no magic. And so we struggled a bit. I think Uzma got rained on by a magic cloud, but we didn't encounter anything too dangerous. We were able to kind of just move around. A main part where we took damage was one lizard, like large lizard thing that attacked us in a deserty biome with cactuses, or that we maybe not yet named, but we think are cactus-like. And one lizard guy mauled Oliver quite badly. He got quite damaged. But we kind of carried on and got to this new area at the end of this day, I think, roughly, and we managed to make some headway into it. But kind of midway through, voices started echoing out through this craggly, weird terrain with kind of nothing on, just seemingly endless, like salt fields of just nothing. And then some voices echoed to us. They were clearly magical and clearly a trap, but Oliver was like, okay, there's a kid, let's save it. And just ran off. And Uzma and Reuven, kind of unwilling, especially Uzma being quite unwilling, but we still have to follow our companion, so we followed along from a distance, and nothing happened. Oliver just walked around a bunch and found nothing, and was just kept shouting by kid voices and old man voices and like a cat, all sorts of weird noises, but nothing came of them, and we had to bed down for the night. I don't remember if we have a tent or if we have a magic shelter.
think it was a 10th.
I am
I could be
pretty
wrong.
certain that we do not have magic huts.
Then we are in a tent
Well,
as night grows.
we are getting ready for the tents. You bog down your tents. You are in this weird area. You had like the salt flat land, like the dried up ground that's scraggly, and you have these large boulders that are standing everywhere. Seemingly not much fauna in between them, flora in between them, and yeah, you bed down for the night. It's gonna be a bit of a spooky night, maybe, with the echoing screams that you've heard before, but well, who knows. You are in the wilderness, so I assume there are people on watch.
Yes.
Yeah.
Are
Yeah, I
all
think-
currently invisible?
Probably you and Reuven are invisible. I don't think that Oliver is invisible.
Because the last prepared spells that are in the log has 4 invises, and I only have 1 on my sheet right now.
Mm-hmm.
So it looks like I've cast 3.
Yeah. That is very much a possibility. I'm pretty certain you invest somewhere, someone, but I think Oliver, like running around looking for screaming children, might have distinctly uninvest himself.
Oh, yeah, maybe.
I think something like that happened.
Sounds reasonable.
Sounds right.
Without being
Sounds
too
reasonable.
certain.
Even if we didn't tell it last session, it still counts. It's
Exactly.
canon.
So we are heading into the night. It is a Wednesday today. It is the 3rd week of February. February. No, it's the 2nd week of March. Sorry, my mistake. And yeah, you bed down for the night. Who is on watch during the witching hour?
I think it's Reuben normally.
It would be me normally, yes. Unless we wanted to specify that we are doing watches differently. Just me taking first half, you taking second half?
Yeah, that works. Yeah.
Okay.
Alrighty. Mr. Reuven. It is getting close to midnight. You can see the non-existent moon is somewhere in the middle of the sky. And Kitty gets aroused by something and will go in hunting mode. She's gonna quickly, very quickly, disappearing out of your camp.
Okay. He definitely gives like the not the order, but like a body signal, whistle of like, be careful. This is like bad terrain to her before she fully leaves. But yeah, he trusts her enough that if she wants, when it goes out, then she can go out.
Yeah.
He just make sure he's keeps the best lookout he can, making sure that the crown is active on his head. So if these spooky ghosts that he thinks might be ghosts, he's not sure, but it might be some sort of weird undead things. So he has his crown nice and ready.
All right, perfect. Takes a few minutes, and then Kitty returns. She went around one of these large boulders, and then she returns and is carrying in her mouth a shrew-like rodent creature. It's like a size of a large mouse, maybe like the size of a rat, a bit thick, long nose. You've never seen a creature like this before.
Yeah. Very interesting.
You know how cats hunt, so there's a probably 70% chance that the creature's not dead. Doesn't seem to be moving at the moment.
I think Ruven will just allow her to do as she wants at the moment. It is an interesting creature, and he'll study it, but he's still making sure to keep watch as well. So he kind of halves his attention at this rat-like creature.
Yeah. Kitty's going to do kitty things and like smack the creature around a bit. Like it wasn't dead. It starts like running away. Kitty jumps on it, and like 10 minutes or so later, accidentally murders the thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
He was halfway worried that was like, he's seen dragons turn into people, so maybe smaller dragons could turn into mice. He doesn't know. He doesn't know the rules, so he was thinking maybe it was a strong creature or something, just hiding.
Yep.
But then he relaxes.
Doesn't seem like it. Well, yeah. Can go hour or 2 hours more on your watch, and then it's time to switch.
Okay. He will wake Oliver. Let him do his preparations of waking up. Maybe before going to sleep, we'll ask Oliver, are you fine?
I think so.
I'm
not sure of it. It
Yes?
might have. It's very likely that it might have been a trick, but I don't think it can. If there's a chance that it wasn't a trick, I had to at least check. But I think you two are right. It might have just been a one of these creatures out here trying to bait us into a trap.
He nods. I still get quite the feeling of not great from this place. I will, I guess, try and keep this crown active on my head. I think it might fall off in the middle of my sleep, but I'll do my best. If it is something undead related, near related, we should be quite careful.
Agreed.
Yeah. He gives you a pat on like your lower arm because he can't quite reach your higher arm, and gives you a reassuring nod. We need you.
Ruben. Yes, thank you.
Alrighty.
And yeah, he'll go to rest. He'll try to sleep with the crowd DM. I don't know how that will work,
Yeah,
but he'll
we'll
try.
figure it out if it comes into play. Oliver, do you have Ultra Vision? You don't, right?
I don't think so. No, we just have like. I think I have a light stone ready in case I hear something.
Yep.
That's how we did it before.
Alright. You go.
And I have the rod of alertness because apparently it's on my character sheet.
Yep.
Just like ready, just like held in hand, probably would just like give me extra shit.
You begin your watch, and it is dark out. There's the stars in the sky. They are quite well visible. There are no clouds in front of them, so the entire landscape is like filled with a bit of a star glow. Your eyes are used to the darkness by now, so you can see small things around. You can see a bit of the things around, so you can see like the boulders in front of the night sky. You can see like shadows, things. I would like you to make me a perception check.
Okay, rod of alertness is just initiative rolls. I think surprised. Okay, just making sure about that. Okay. 19.
Yeah. Seems to be nothing particularly interesting going on until like you're not quite certain if it's your imagination or something, or maybe there was a cloud and it has like moved across a particularly bright star. You think, at least you think that somewhere like in front of you, the light was flickering a bit. You saw like a bit more of a shadow for a moment, and then it was gone. And might be imagination, might be not. It's hard to say.
I think of that he'd like pull out a light stone and just sort of like look around. It's only 60 foot. I think it's 60 foot radius. Pull it out and look around. Make sure there's nothing like in the immediate vicinity.
Yeah, you pull out your light stone. You immediately see like at the edge, like at the one of the large boulders that's in the crack between the boulder and the ground, like something small like shuffles away. Must have been one of these lizards. You've seen them run away before. Nothing particularly interesting. The light stone blinds you for a moment because it was so dark before, but you can quickly adjust to it. As the light is magical, so who exactly knows how it works? You hope that your friends behind you have the curtains to their tents well closed, because else you might accidentally wake them up, but that's the price you pay for safety. Yeah, nothing particularly interesting around.
Yeah, we'll keep it out for like a minute or two longer, and then put it back, assuming he doesn't hear or see anything else.
Yeah, no, you don't hear anything. You don't see anything. If there, I mean, you've like used the light stones before. You kind of had weird interactions with magic light before. So if there was something going on with light anywhere around you, you wouldn't be able to see it now. But
yeah, it's like a wall, right? Pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he'll just put it away and try to slowly readjust his eyes back to the darkness.
Yeah. It takes like a few more minutes or so, and then you get like this weird feeling again. But still nothing really particular that you can pick out.
I'm gonna pick up the rod and detect. I guess I don't need to actually use that. Never mind. I'm just gonna detect the evil intent out in the range just to make sure. Because it's getting like a little weird. So I feel like a scan and like a direction. I feel like the weirdness is coming from. Only 60 feet, but
yeah, it's like light, so it might be coming from any direction. Could be behind you, could be in front of you. It's hard to say. But as you like intensely focus on this and like turn around, you saw like some flash somewhere in the distance. It's like a flash. Like you don't see like a lightning strike or anything, but the light, like a short burst of light, like flies over you, reflecting a bit in between it. Like somewhere a light must have flickered.
Okay, and was it like in the distance, or was it like in because we were in like a rocky area, like a big boulder, so I imagine it would be pretty close by if I saw it, or was it farther away?
If it was close by or it was very, very bright, and so it still reached you before it got too thinned out, or it was like above you. It could be any of these things.
Okay.
And I would like you to roll me a d10.
Ooh. This is a surprise. No, I'm looking through the rod thing. Oh, I get a +1 bonus if it's a surprise roll. So
Yes,
the rod
it is a surprise roll. Yeah.
So 7 then.
A 7, right? You're not surprised. The thing that not surprised, it is a bit surprising, but it does not surprise you, as you can see like between two of the boulders next to you, a orb of light forming, and it's like it manifests, becomes a bit brighter, and as it becomes brighter, and you quickly and you realize that it's there, it is moving in your direction.
Oh, okay.
It's like 30-40 feet away from you. It's moving your direction. You have to quickly decide what you're doing. Do you want to run back, wake up your friends, or do you, I don't know, try to strike at the thing with your spear? And what's your action?
Yeah, let's go stab it.
Right. The orb like forms in front of you. It's like a bit crackling. The flickering that you saw before must have come from the thing, as it flickers a bit, and the rocks around you reflect the light, and it's like moving in your direction. Generally,
actually,
your direction.
You know what? I think because I'm like stuttering on my decision. I think Ulrich's gonna give it the round because I'm like going back and forth what I want to do actually.
All right. The orb like flows in your direction and comes close to you, and as the lightning tendrils of the thing get close enough to touch you, they spring onto your armor. And I would like you to roll me a Saving throw versus paralyzation, poison, and death.
Okay. It's a pass, unless there's.
That's a pass. Alrighty. As the thing touches you, you feel like this intense pain shooting through your body, and as you, shortly before your blackout, you realize that you are paralyzed and are falling backwards.
Okay. So, like, paralyzed, or just sort of like a little stunned?
You weren't able to move before you started falling backwards. You try to catch your fall as you're tumbling backwards, but you can't, and then the lights go out, and you are
Okay.
whatever.
Alrighty. Okay.
Yeah.
That's what I get for hesitating. Okay.
A few moments later, you hear somebody knocking at your door. And a voice comes, "Oi, Gravel, get up!" You recognize the voice, it's Cherry. And
Cherry?
yeah, Cherry. And you flicker up your eyes. You feel a bit hungover. The knocking comes again from the door. Yeah, you are inside of a hut.
Kill. Do I? Question real quick, because I think like, does Oliver still have all his memories, or is it just sort of like, is he as stunned as I am, basically? Like, in like, or confused, I guess, or is it sort of like a dream
You
logic,
know-
or just how I can?
Give me a wisdom check.
28.
28. You are not confused at all. But
Okay.
there's a but. At the same time, you feel a bit like you are watching yourself.
Okay.
Knock on the door comes again.
I think he'll like
Gravel!
go through the motions and just sort of like get up out of bed.
Yeah.
You know, like
You,
get his stuff.
you weren't in a bed, you were just on the ground. As you look up,
okay.
you see on the table there's like a few bottles of, what's it called? Blah, 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 blah. There's a name for it. I will give it a name later. You wake up, you get up, you see there's like two other guys in your hut with you. They are also rising at the moment. You know these two people. They are called Sam and Eddie, two of your colleagues. Speaking of which, as you woke up as Gravel Oliver, Osmar, you wake up as well. And also to the knocking of somebody on the door. Reuven, same thing. Yeah.
Okay.
Knocking comes a fourth time. Gravel, get up! It's time to get moving.
Are we in this all in the same room?
Yeah.
Okay.
Apart from the fact that all three of you are wearing like plain clothes, there's a group of spears leaning next to the door.
I want to move.
I think Oliver like wake himself up a little bit, get up off the ground, and just grab
From
one
the
of the
door.
spears.
Oi, dickhead! Get your shit ready. Blooming group
One
showed up
moment.
again. Knocking again.
Oh. Yeah, all right, everyone, we gotta get up.
Yeah, you gotta get up. It's the Blooming group again,
Try and like rouse everyone up, kind of like half aware of, kind of half understand what's going on.
Yeah. You go to the door, you open the door up there. As I said before, it's Cherry. It's one of your other colleagues, a bit older than you. He says, setting checks that we're getting a group together, see what they're hiding out, giving back taste of their own medicine. Looks over your shoulder, sees the other two. Bro, you really should cut back on the protein. Sam, Eddie, you welcome to tag along if you want.
Yeah, come along, yeah.
Cherry looks at you one last time, like he shakes his head a bit and says, always the same with the youngsters. Turns around. You can see he's like wearing his armor. He has his leather armor on. Seems to be somewhat official business here at the moment. Your armor is like on the floor, next to the couch, where Sam and Eddie were lying down.
Yeah, I think he'll go put his armor on and just like while he's putting it on, just be like, all right, you two want to come?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, you gotta come.
Yeah, they want to come with you. Yeah, sounds like a great idea. You know, blooming group and all. So you grab a piece of candied dragon fruit from the table. Head out. Must be late morning. As you leave your hut, give me a perception check.
Cool.
All of you. Whoever wants to pay attention to what's going on around them, gives me a perception check.
Oh.
Oh.
For one.
Well, you know, Eddie, you've been drunk the whole night. There's not really much paying attention on your end. Gravel / Oliver, you, you know, it's your home. You know, you believe you see a few wooden huts around you, bit of a farmland, bit further in the distance, and left of you, the ocean. Left of you, the ocean, right of you. There's the pins, as they tend to be there. They've always been there since you lived here. Osmar, to you...
Wait, am I Osmar or am I Sam?
You are Sam.
Okay.
Yeah. Sam, you see the same thing. And as Sam sees these things, Osmar, you notice a handful of things as well. You notice...
I'm so confused.
Yeah, I know. It's confusing.
I feel like I'm having a fever dream right now.
Osmar, as the observer, you notice as Sam leaves the house and looks over the huts, the farmland, onto the ocean. You notice Sam doesn't seem to notice it, but you, as the observer, notice it. That there's this large crescent-shaped thing in the sky that is like somewhat over the horizon. You have heard about a moon that doesn't exist. A moon in your world, but the moon exists as a idea, and it's sometimes described in old tales. It's like one of these fairy tales things. Seems like what one would describe as a moon. And as you follow the gaze of Sam over the land, you also notice that everything around you is lacking in detail. This is a hut that you see there 50 feet away from you, but it doesn't have like the vibrance that the real world seems to have usually. As I said, it's a bit confusing. But yeah, the three of you head out of the house and head over to the meeting place in the middle of the settlement you have there. everything seems to be normal. And as you get there, there's a handful of people, maybe 2 handful of people, maybe 3 handful of people. And you can see Cherry standing there, looking back at you as you come closer. And you see standing elevated on a large boulder that is sitting there. It's not as tall as the boulders of the pins next to you. It's like a smaller boulder. There are Sally and Jack. Sally and Jack are gravel to you. They are your boss. You are part of the town guard. They are the heads of the town guard. And you notice that they are wearing their ritualistic bone armor, which is, as I said, ritualistic. Must be a very special occasion. You gather together, and they standing there for a while as some more people come. And then Sally speaks up and says, listen up. The Blooming Group has harassed us enough. They have pushed their luck. We are no bad people. We help those in need. We show hospitality to travelers. But we are not the suppliers of those wimpy clowns too afraid to show their faces. Pauses for effect. When the elder told them today that we will no longer give them handouts, the envoy threatened him. This is our land, our food, our water. Our people made this land into what it is. Our sweat and blood has fertilized the ground. We do not respond kindly to threats. Today is not about shedding blood. It is about sending a message. Keep your blades clean. Finishing her speech, there's a bit of applause, a few shouts. She steps down from her boulder, motions a few people around. You, Gravel, at least you, Sam and Eddie, you're following along for fun, maybe, or because you don't have anything else to do. The group that you're with, the town guard or the whatever raiding party you're taking part in here, forms a loose formation and starts heading eastwards into the direction of the pins.
Yeah, Eddie will be right behind Gravel.
Mm-hmm.
Gravel seems good. Head hurts.
Yeah, Gravel was just like trying to get over his hangover.
Mm-hmm.
Going through the motions.
Sam just looks high as fuck.
That's probably his real state at the moment. There's like, at least for Usma and Oliver, you both have noticed already that you are observing something. So in case you want to observe a bit more, let me know, or else you're a bit of along for the ride.
Okay. We're just at least like grab like all are just chilling for now because it seems like we're just walking to the other side. So.
Yeah. You walk to the other side and then all of a sudden you are stepping into a open landscape. This is the edge between the pins and the mountains. You've been here before. And as you step out of there, you see Messel, one of the scouts of your people. She's coming from somewhere to the side of you and is approaching the group. Your group slows down and she comes up to speak with Sally and Trek. You don't hear what they're talking there in front of you. But since you are taking a moment here, you grab something to drink and something to eat. as you look up into the sky, the sun is past its highest point, so it must be somewhere early afternoon now. It's pretty hot. Being out here in your armor is, well, it's not the greatest thing. You kind of envy your two friends who are just in their normal clothings. Yeah. So far, everything seems to be going good. Nothing has tried to eat you on your way. Speaking of thinking, it's a bit of a weird path that you took, especially because you've been traveling with a large group here. Nothing has tried to murder you, but you've been a large group. The envoy, they're usually like 1, 2, 3 people. It's like prime getting murdered group size, but seemingly they have gotten through the pin area without any problems. Just a thought. Yeah. You watch a bit and you look over. All of you probably noticed that Eddie and Sam, no, not Eddie and Sam, that's a writing mistake on my end. Jack and Sally, they're speaking with Mezzel, and she must have told them something that seems to be not great news, because they look a bit angered. Yeah, you rest for a few moments more, and then the signal comes and you get back together and you head towards the mountains. Mezzel is in front of the group, next to Jack and Sally, leading you, and you're heading in the direction of a ravine, like in between, like two of the yeah, it's a ravine. Yeah. Heading into the ravine, you follow up the ravine up the mountain. It gets a bit wider, a bit thinner, changes in size a bit, but there seems to be nothing particularly interesting until about like 15 minutes or so up your travel up the ravine. You from time to time you look back, you must have gotten a bit of elevation, since you can see like the over the pins into the distance. You see the ocean miles away, and a murmur comes through the group. You are a bit in the not in the first part of the group, like in the middle of the group, so you're not the first to see this. But there are these two monoliths flanking the path. They are about like 20 feet high, fairly nondescript. It's like the same rock as surrounds the area. The thing that sticks out, that's why it becomes quite easy to notice that they are not really natural, is that they have like 3 sides. As you like move past them, you can like see that quite clearly. 3 sides, they have this rounded top, and on all 3 sides there are like hand-sized plates of a silverish metal inlaid into them.
Wow.
Do we have like any idea what this is or what it means, or is it just kind of like, are we just like in all about this, like this work of art?
Just means that somebody made these things.
Okay.
They are 20 feet tall, so whoever made them must have also placed them. So this is a very distinct work here.
Okay.
But I mean, they're silver plates. They don't really have much of a meaning to you. They don't have much of a meaning to Gravel. Oliver, you might interpret silver plates as something. That's up to you. But to Gravel, they don't have much of a meaning.
Okay, I see.
And your group like people murmur, people talk about it as like looking at them, but Jack and Sally don't seem to be too interested in stonework, and they keep pushing, and you keep moving. You follow this ravine path. It's like hard to say. It looked like a ravine, but then again, you've been following for like 20, 25, 30 minutes or so, and it's still going without any problem. So at some point, you consider this to be more of a path than a natural ravine. And you follow it up, and you, coming from the front of the group, hear a stop signal. You look up in front, you've been like focused on moving up there. It's still elevation, so you're stepping up a mountain. You're not moving particularly fast. It is very hot. It is a bit tiring. You're sweating. You're looking a lot on the ground because you don't want to slip on a few pebbles and fall. That would be a bit embarrassing. So you don't really see much into the distance. And as the stop sign comes, you look up. You look in between your comrades around you, and you see all three of you. You see another set of these monoliths, and in between the monoliths, like 15, 20, 30 feet behind them, a blue-robed person and somewhat like around the line between the monoliths on the ground, a body with red streaks slightly rolling down the hill from it, and a bunch of metal spikes sticking into the body. The blue-robed figure, you recognize as somebody who would be colloquially referred to as member of the Blue Man Group, but looks a bit different than the ones you have seen before. You also notice that the figure that's standing there has a large staff in his hands, a bit leaning on it. As you all stop, a sonorous, deep voice comes rolling down the hill from, assumingly, the person in the blue robe, who says, villagers, you have finally arrived. I'm afraid your friend found an unfortunate end on the trail. You're welcome to retrieve his body. He motions a bit forward to the body lying on the floor. I must ask though, why the hostilities? Haven't we graciously allowed you to stay on your land just for small, insignificant offerings? Sally shouts, your land? This is our land. You come here demanding our food, our water. There is no produce for 100 miles around this. If it weren't for us and the offerings that you claim, you would have to forage for your survival. What have you done with Terence? Is this your doing? She turns around. Sam, Eddie, get the body.
Okay.
Was followed.
As you head forwards towards the body, I would like the two of you to make me a perception check.
Okay. 13. A 1 and a 2.
One better than before.
Sam still going strong. Eddie still, well, maybe. Who knows what's going on? Eddie, you don't really get much. You see the body. It is Terence. You notice the person lying on the ground is clearly dead. And there's a bunch of these 2-foot long metallic spikes sticking in his body. You're not really paying too much attention to what's going on. It's a bit revolting to you, so you'll focus a bit of looking away and just getting the body and carrying it back.
Yeah. He's a bit scared.
Sam, you
Yeah.
looking over there, like you handling yourself a bit better. You notice that it must be like 24 of these spikes sticking into your late friend, and they all seem to have like this silvery shimmer to them.
Wait, how big are the spikes?
They are like 2 feet long, not particularly thick, so they're like 2 inches thick or something, like the size of your thumb in thickness.
They look like they're like skewering the guy, or are they just like poked into him?
Considering the fact that there's this blood running down the hill from him, they are probably sticking in him a little more deep than would be acupuncture.
Yeah.
And also, as you grab the body and start to carrying it backwards, you notice like from the corner of your eye that there seems to be like a shimmer in the air between the 2 monoliths. But whatever, you grab the body, get it back. There's this weird, eerie, bit confusing sound as the silver sticks are clanging at each other, making a very unfitting sound to the situation. The sonorous voice comes again and says, "Unfortunately, your spy has entered a territory that is off limit for cretins like you all are. Uncultured, unsophisticated. Basically animals with the basic capacity of language. How I had wished this would have taken a different turn. We could have taught you so much, but you have sealed your fate. Turn back home. Spend the rest of your days with your loved ones. Don't throw them away here." The figure in the blue hood, blue robes, blue hood, has this face mask on as well, and you can't see the face, so turns around. Jack shouts, "This is not how this ends!" And he like runs forward a bit and throws his spear, trying to impale the hooded man that is turning around and away. And like everyone in your group, like instant silence because shit's going down. And as the spear flies, it gets to the area in between the 2 monoliths, at which point it just completely shatters against something, and you hear this sound coming.
We hear what sound coming?
Yeah, a sound, okay? As the
That's
spear,
under my-
the spear tip, the wooden shaft, everything like shatters